A celebration of high school graduation opens the film. We meet Dennis, the protagonist, who harbors emotions for Beth Cooper, the school's most popular girl. Rich, Dennis' friend, advises him to express his feelings to Beth before the party, believing it to be his final opportunity. Dennis has the opportunity to speak during the party, but initially it's really dreary, with only his parents having fun. Then, to everyone's surprise, especially Beth, who doesn't know him, Dennis chooses to tell Beth that he loves her. To make matters worse, Beth's military boyfriend is also present. Dennis urges people to express their desires and secrets. Everyone is astonished at his speech. A teacher who is outraged with Dennis's remarks approaches him outdoors later. Beth Cooper grins when she sees Dennis and is a little taken aback by his admission. She removes her robe because she feels overheated and shows off her gorgeous shorts and t-shirt. Dennis stops Beth from leaving after Rich interrupts them and extends an invitation to his party. She attempts to go, but she doesn't want to go. Beth's boyfriend, Kevin, visits and becomes irate with Dennis. However, the instructor stands up for him. Dennis and Rich return home after Kevin's departure and discuss the reason Rich hasn't had a girlfriend during high school. The reason Dennis hasn't had a girlfriend is because he hasn't been able to meet anyone, it turns out. Dennis received an iPod from his parents upon graduating. Rich acknowledges that his parents gave him a bill to pay back the roughly $250,000 he had spent on it. The men are preparing for the celebration. Dennis decides to get his anxiety out by checking his t-shirt. When Dennis's parents get home, they offer suggestions for the celebration. In particular, they stress that if Dennis wants the evening to be successful, he must change his underwear. The children are given 23 bottles of champagne by their parents, along with their phone number in case of any issues. Additionally, the father offers his kid some guidance. He assures Dennis that he can do everything he wants and to make this summer as special as possible. The lads understand the father's hint when he informs them where the contraceptives are before they leave. The men wait for the visitors after their parents have left. Abruptly, Beth drives a car around the corner and directly for the males. She's accompanied by her closest buddies. The boys feel instantly stronger after getting out of the automobile since the female is so adorable. The girls had never been the first to arrive at a party, so they are shocked to see that there are no other guests when they enter the house. The girls don't get the jokes that the guys make. Dennis pulls out the champagne to unwind when Beth unexpectedly receives a call from her lover Rich. It turns out that the champagne turns the females on and makes them want to perform a number of things. Rich goes to retrieve the protection they were left with for the fun, and the girls are happy that something is already planned. Beth is on the phone with her boyfriend and refuses to let him know where she is so he won't come while Dennis is attempting to open the champagne. The lover injures his hand when he opens the champagne for the first time. The champagne cork then slams straight into her forehead as Rich demonstrates that he has discovered the shield. While the man is laying on the floor, the pals chuckle, but Beth and Rich swiftly decide to assist. To give him a cold one, Beth climbs on top of him and sits down. The girl sits directly on top of him as the guy's arousal steadily increases during their conversation. She enjoys it and is astonished. The man then stands up and conceals his authority. The females are aware of the situation and find it amusing. The girls make the decision to depart and bid the boys farewell. They see Kevin and his companions driving a different car as it approaches the house. Outside the house, there is a parking lot directly on the grass. To greet her partner, one of the girls opens the door. After bringing her inside, Dennis shuts the door to prevent anyone from entering. He quickly shuts all the windows, but he doesn't have time to shut the final door, so Kevin enters. After entering the residence, he slams a vase into the wall and threatens the man. Guys can then simply avoid the bottles while carrying a bottle of champagne. The guys flee after he hurls the microwave against the wall. They search for weapons while locking themselves in their room. Their sole discovery is a child's sword. Dennis hides behind the wall and Rich hides in the closet. When Kevin walks in, he sees that Dennis has a photo of Beth on top of his bed. Dennis chooses to battle Kevin. However, Kevin wrenches his hands off a skeleton behind his back and launches an assault. Kevin skillfully stabs his opponent with the skeleton's arms. Rich leaps out of the window after exiting the closet. Kevin is stopped when Beth storms into the room. She is shocked to see her photo over the man's bed. Kevin swiftly awakens and nuzzles the schoolboy as Dennis makes his way to the window. He tumbles into the bushes. After Dennis grabs his pal, they flee across the fence. They are dispatched to pursue. A car is approaching Dennis as he dashes out into the street. Before they depart, Beth pulls the man into the car after hitting him. Rich manages to catch up with them. Together, they climb inside the car, and Beth puts the gas pedal to the floor. Beth turns out to be an extremely poor driver. When Rich recalls their driving school lessons together, he understands that they are still in danger. The man is appreciative of being saved. Dennis requests a phone so he can call his parents, but the man shoves the vibrating device down his wife's pants since they're too busy. Beth throws the phone out the window after realizing they can be traced on it. The group then begins to party once they switch on the music. They are having fun and singing and dancing in unison. Beth applies the brakes hard as the group arrives at the gas station. A man collapses between the girl's legs after hitting his head. Dennis and Beth visit the store to purchase beer. The girl appreciates Dennis's compliments. Since they are still in high school, they are not sold alcohol after they have finished their shopping. After persuading the clerk to sell them alcohol, the girl gives him a passionate kiss in exchange. After learning all of this, Dennis loses interest in the girl. They try to enjoy themselves after they arrive at the woods and piss off the flames. Beth gives the man a beer and demonstrates to him how to use her teeth to open the bottle. The man smashes his milk tooth when he attempts to do it again. The females are enjoying the romantic music that is playing. The buddies leave after realizing that the pair needs some space. They decide to kill one of the cows they locate. Dennis discusses his future goals and the university he intends to attend. Why is the boyfriend disappointed in her? The girl asks. The man responds that his Beth Cooper is worth more than 12 beer cans, so she wouldn't make out for them. Their friends are attempting to take down a cow at the same time. All of the cows decide to chase after them at once. They recount what transpired after returning to the vehicle. Beth detects an unpleasant stench. After the cows, it turns out to be from Rich. He gets into the car and leaves his footwear behind, and they drive off. Beth shuts off the headlights and they continue to drive without them, adding to the risky driving. The lights instantly cut into someone's automobile after turning back on. It's Dennis's parents, it turns out. After learning about his parents' activities, the schoolchildren decide to quickly leave. The girls go to the pool as soon as they get to the party. Dennis uses the restroom after the boys notice that Beth is already chatting with someone else. Greg, whom Dennis insulted during the reunion, finds him. When Dennis finds the perfect words, the strong man begins to cry since he was previously misunderstood. Over time, they become friends. The man feels better when Greg gives him a hug. As they have food and punch, Dennis returns to his companion. At the prompt, a classmate approaches them and acknowledges that they enjoyed the speech. Dennis flees after learning that Kevin is attending the celebration. He meets Beth en route. Beth dumps Kevin after they catch him making out with someone else. Dennis and his pal are picked up by them. Beth has a strategy to assist them. Dennis begs for assistance from everyone around him while Kevin tries to beat him up. When the landlady enters, she orders Kevin to discipline the schoolboy. Abruptly, the school coach emerges and establishes the fight's rules. Dennis surrenders since he doesn't want to fight, but Kevin strikes him out of the blue. Greg defends him and knocks him unconscious. After knocking out the other two, he ultimately loses. Abruptly, Beth's vehicle approaches the residence. She drives off after picking up her companions. Since the girls are cheerleaders, the girl chooses to drive back to school to have fun after they scream in the car. For the guys, they dance. They go to the shower when Beth becomes depressed. Rich gets them. Dennis observes his lovely classmates, who are only wearing towels, as he walks into the locker area. Beth throws the towel off her body and walks over to the man. Dennis accepts her friend's invitation to join them for a swim. Agreeing, he is prepared to join his spotlessly clean peers. After Rich goes, the boys go over and the females shout out to their pals. Kevin finds Dennis after he is left alone. Dennis is saved when his friend steps in. The females exit the shower in a hurry. While running to the car, they discover that the man is without pants. Rich fights off his abusers at the same time. As it happens, he has been using towels to practice fighting since he was a young boy, and he wins every time. Rich arrives at his buddy's car where they are waiting for him. They talk about how it all began on the way, and the man shares everything he knows about Beth. To prevent the nosebleeds, his friends give him tampons. Beth shares that at first, she and her friends believed attending Dennis's party would be enjoyable and a joke. However, things didn't work out as planned. Beth advises the man to remove his shirt because it smells and he now has a broken nose. She then unintentionally loses it when she pulls up her shirt to air it out. Beth halts suddenly. Her companion lands squarely on top of Rich. Dennis gets back up and walks in, forgetting he's wearing his favorite underpants, searching for the shirt. Beth chooses to dress him in her cape despite the others' laughter. Together, they look for the t-shirt and talk about the girl's relationship with Kevin. The girl also questions why Dennis proclaimed his love in his speech at the prom. The girl enjoys it when he explains in detail why he did that. He chooses to keep his shirt after they find it. The schoolchildren flee when he frightens them. The fun continues when you get to the girlfriend's residence. Beth calls the youngster to see the sunrise while they warm up with a drink. During their stroll, the girl discusses her brother. Rich makes jokes with the girls, and when the guy learns they have a lot in common, they get to know one another more. Dennis and Beth meet the sunrise at the same moment. The female claims that she enjoys being hugged, but she stops the guy as he reaches out to do so. When Rich keeps telling his girlfriends that he likes women, they ask him why he didn't feel attracted to them in the shower. They show him how they enjoy eating cookies in an attempt to woo him. Then they proceed to the bedroom to continue after carefully stretching his shirt. Dennis informs them that tonight is the only school-related memory he will have. Beth claims that her best years were spent in school, but she will miss them now that they are done. After school, the girl is afraid to venture into the unknown. Dennis reassures Beth that everything will be well. He then gives her a kiss. The party's mess is cleaned up by the parents. The parents discover they observed the school children at night when they arrive home. Dennis' father helps him while his mother begins preparing breakfast. He's content. Although Dennis had a good time, he believes that this should be his first punishment. Dennis is pleased with how everything turned out. Beth and he bid each other farewell, decide to meet up at the reunion, and, if they're still unmarried, consider getting married. In their own unique fashion, the girls hop in the car and head off.